Hello! Magandang araw mga ka-e-learners! In today's video, I will be sharing my failure in one of the many supervisory jobs during my early F&B career. Normal lang naman na magkaroon ka ng mistakes and failures along the way. That's part of the learning process. But the most important thing is, you have to acknowledge and you have to be more than willing to rectify. So come join me as we navigate the small wins, failures, struggles, trials, ups and downs, and the most important thing are the lessons learned along the way. So my last video was about the F&B career path. And going up the ladder is not that easy. Kung minsan kasi, the road seemed so rough, masyadong malubak, at masyadong maraming pitfalls along the way. So I am sharing this video as a guide, baka sakaling makatulong in shaping your own career pathways. Magandang araw mga ka-e-learners! Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Ako si Miss E, ang inyong F&B specialist, and I talk about food and beverage management. My goal in creating this channel is to reach out to all the F&B talents in the hospitality industry para makapag-share ng mga tutorials and lessons on F&B operations, food safety and hygiene, F&B sustainability, F&B cost control, and pre-opening templates and guidelines. Sana makatulong lalong-lalo na doon sa mga young and aspiring F&B talents. So I was an aspiring young talent during that time, full of enthusiasm, with big dreams and high spirits. And so I went to apply in one of the biggest companies in that region. Meron siyang 6 na food and beverage outlets with different concepts. And nagtatayo pa siya ng 3 F&B outlets sa isang building lamang. On the ground floor was a Filipino restaurant. On the second floor was a Chinese restaurant with 200 seating capacity. Meron siyang 2 private dining rooms with 20 seating capacity each. And then on the third floor was the high-end bar and restaurant. And I was assigned on the second floor. So during the interview, it was made known to us na 3 lang yung kukuhanin. And there were 7 of us who showed up for the final interview. And they were hiring 3 lady supervisors because meron na sila in place 3 male supervisors who will cover the night shift. And the 3 lady supervisors whom they were hiring will cover the morning shift. So I came to the interview well-prepared, well-dressed, and full of confidence. Kasi I was thinking all the while, ang dami ko nang alam as far as the technical skills are concerned. And I was very much confident during the time that I know all the know-hows in the F&B service industry, most especially when it comes to technical skills. So after a few days, I received the offer letter and I was jumping with joy. And I was so much excited because I was already in the middle level of the F&B ladder. Kasi during my time, napakahirap ma-hired, lalo na if you have lesser work experiences. So I started with my new F&B journey. Parang masyadong mahirap kasi pre-opening was very new to me. Nag-struggle ako with all the challenges in the pre-opening stages. Pero with the guidance and the assistance of a very competent and a very seasoned F&B manager who came from a very prestigious hospitality school in the US, I was able to immerse myself into the operations. Things were going fine until that particular F&B manager left because he joined another company in the National Capital Region. Umalis siya to join a bigger company that was 3 hours away from the district where we were working. So moving forward, I gave more than 100% of my performance and I was thinking that would be enough. Pero slowly, after mga 2 to 3 weeks, I felt like I was getting burned out. I was getting so tired, I was getting so exhausted, and I was thinking hindi pala ganoong kadali ang maging trabaho ng isang F&B supervisor sa ganoong klase ng environment where you will be working like a junior manager. So I started doubting myself. I started doubting my capabilities. Ang sabi ko, hindi pa yata ako prepared for this kind of responsibility. And I had so much difficulty in adapting kasi ang hirap ng transition. And it was only after a few years did I realize na marami pala akong naging pagkakamali as a supervisor. And I have realized those mistakes na naging cause ng aking failure. Ang number 1 mistake na nagawa ko pala ay ang aking lack of ability to delegate. At dahil sa failure ko na mag-delegate ng mga tasks sa aking mga subordinates, masyado akong naging overwhelmed sa dami ng mga trabaho ko. Parang every day, I would bring home yung mga trabaho na hindi ko natapos. Even if I extend long hours sa trabaho, hindi ko pa rin natatapos yung mga dapat kong gawin as far as the administrative job of a supervisor was concerned. hindi na ako masyadong nakafocus sa aking mga administrative job, hindi na ako masyadong nakafocus sa aking coaching, mentoring, training, and supervising because I have been doing a lot of things which were not supposed to be done by me. So nag-struggle ako sa delegation kasi nandoon palagi yung pressure to prove myself. And that was why I was hired because I was the best. Yun lagi yung thinking na pumapasok sa isip ko. So hindi ko naiintindihan na yung delegation pala was giving away parts of your own job to someone else to do it. Hindi yung kanilang job descriptions, yun ang pinagagawa ko sa kanila. Because hindi ko na-realize na dapat pala akong mag-unload ng ibang mga trabaho in order for me to move forward at makafocus sa iba pang mga trabaho. So, barely 4 months in my job, I felt so exhausted. And I thought of creating the opening and the closing checklist para sabi ko, baka sakaling makatulong sa akin. But then, it was such a pity that even the closing and the opening checklist, ako pa rin pala yung gumagawa because I was not trusting anyone then. And I was thinking that I can do all these jobs better by myself. So I would go to work early in the morning to do the opening checklist, and at the end of the shift, I was the one conducting the closing checklist because I did not delegate those particular tasks to my staff. Siguro kasi there was this fear of being disliked, and so I was the one doing the jobs of my subordinates. Parang naiisip ko kasi na baka hindi nila magustuhan na palagi ko silang nauutusan, so it would be better for me to do those jobs by myself. So pag-uwi ko sa bahay, palaging marami akong bit-bit na trabaho, especially the administrative and the paperworks. Parang I can no longer cope up kasi marami na akong namimiss na deadlines, hindi na ako makapag-submit ng mga reports on time, and I have to work longer hours to finish the task. So even on days off, I would call or drop by to check kung ano na yung nangyayari, if things have been done, and I always have this notion kasi that I can do it better myself. So I wanted to do everything by myself instead of assigning this to them. So I lost all my time which were supposed to be spent in planning, supervising, coaching, and training. So I got so exhausted and drained, but I had to keep going because I wanted to prove to them that they hired the right person in me. So I lost all the time for planning and other supervisory responsibilities. So mga ka-learners, have you encountered the same failure along the way in your F&B career path? Did you ever come into the point of doubting your capabilities and your qualifications? Nakarating ka na ba din doon sa point na gusto mo nang magpalit ng career at ng iyong F&B profession? Kindly drop your comment down below para ma-share natin naman sa ating F&B community. So now we continue with the mistakes na nagawa ko during the early years of my F&B career as a supervisor. And the number 2 reason for my failure was that lack of time management skills. My failure to delegate kasi led me to too much workloads. Parang hindi ko na ma-manage yung time and I can no longer prioritize my work. I can no longer balance the tasks and I cannot meet the deadlines. So masyado nang naging stressful yung aking daily routine. And ang first meal for the day ko will be around 2 to 3 p.m. and sometimes past 3 p.m. na because I can no longer manage the time. And even the time for planning and coaching ay neglected na kasi hindi ko na siya magawa at hindi ko na siya maisingit sa aking tasks. At kung nakarating na kayo sa part ng video na ito at nagustuhan nyo naman, kindly like, comment, share, and subscribe mga ka-e-learners. And kindly hit the notification bell para lagi naman kayong updated sa mga videos ko. Thank you mga ka-e-learners. At ang number 3 reason pala ng aking failure ay ang aking style ng micromanaging. Hindi ko kasi namamalaya na sa style ng aking micromanagement, nakapag-create na pala ako ng isang toxic environment na kung saan ang mga team members ko, they felt so disempowered. So nagresulta na ito talaga sa decreased productivity. Naging ineffective yung style ko in controlling everything that they do. Even the smallest thing kasi ay binabago ko, so they ended up asking me from time to time kung ano at paano ang gagawin. Even when I was on day off, they would wait for me until such time na makabalik ako before they do the tasks that I have assigned to them. And when I would come back from my rest day or my day off, punong-puno yung desks ko ng aking mga gagawin at punong-puno yung mga tasks na dapat kong tapusin because they did not touch anything for fear of being told na mali ang mga ginagawa nila. Because this is the result of my micromanaging style. And so judgment time came. And the 5th month was the appraisal time. And I was told that I barely met the expectations. Parang hindi ko halos na-meet yung expectations. Parang kulang na lang na sinabi na I did not pass the probationary period. Maybe because they have seen me how hard I work, they asked me to stay, but had given me some conditions on the areas which I need to improve. Siguro nga dahil na lang sa hard work na ipinakita ko. So I decided to leave the company. I went back to the drawing board. I assessed myself. I assessed my strengths, my capabilities, my weaknesses, and also what were the areas which I need to improve on. And then I was on the verge of giving up and change my career path, but some people counseled me and helped me pick up the pieces. So I bounced back at bumalik ulit ako sa aking career path sa F&B industry. And my next video will be on how did I bounce back para naman ma-share ko yung mga areas for improvement and for you to be able to be successful in your career path. So to some of the mistakes which caused my failure in my early supervisory career, number 1, I did not have the ability to delegate. Number 2, I lacked the time management skills. And number 3, I had the micromanaging style of leadership. So mga ka-e-learners, nakarelate ba kayo or have you experienced the same thing? At nangyari din ba sa inyo ang mga mistakes na ito? And what have you done to rectify those mistakes? You may drop it into the comment section para naman ma-share ng iba sa F&B community. Paki-share naman para makatulong lalong-lalo na sa mga young and aspiring F&B talents. So see you next week mga ka-e-learners for the next part of this series where I will discuss how did I bounce back and continue with my F&B journey. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell para sa mga bagong videos. Thank you mga ka-e-learners. Bye!